Good morning and welcome to the Sherri-Lee Show. I am Sherri-Lee Wojcik. This is my business page, of course, and I welcome you to my weekly show that I do live here every week on Facebook on my business page. Excuse me. And as I was typing out the things this morning, I realized I don't know what episode this is. So we're going to go back over and count all the episodes and then start numbering them so we know what episode we're in, because that would be so much fun to know. So have you thought about running Facebook ads? Have you run Facebook ads and been dissatisfied with the result? Have you thought about running Facebook ads and then not done it because you thought it was way too complicated? We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about 5 signs that you are ready to run Facebook ads. I'm going to have a sip of tea, see if that helps my throat. So as you come in and join me today, please say hi. Let me know who's here so I can say hi to you. And if you have questions about Facebook ads, please let me know. Now, I've been running Facebook ads since about, I'm going to say maybe 2014, 14, thinking 13, 2013 or 14. Yeah, and I've run ads for every kind of industry and niche you can think of. I've worked with a boutique clothing store, a gourmet cooking school, a gourmet grocery store, a tiny home developer, industrial cleaning supplies, a sign company, coaches, authors, mindset coaches, fitness studios, yoga studios, you name it. And the thing that's consistent with each of those is that you need to have these 5 steps that I've kind of thought out in my head that I use as a bit of an evaluative process now when I'm talking to somebody to help determine where they're at and if they're ready to run Facebook ads right now. And if they aren't, that's okay. Then we know where they are and we can get them ready in really short time. So we don't need to be, it doesn't need to be a big, long process. You could say today, I'm not ready yet to run Facebook ads, but then you could be ready by tomorrow or Wednesday. It really isn't that hard. And I want to say hi to who's here. I don't know who's here, but I know there's people watching because I can see Facebook's telling me. Oh, excuse me. So the number one way you know that you are ready to run Facebook ads is that you have a Facebook business page created. You guys are the first people that I've spoken to today. So clearly I have to do me, or something like that beforehand to get my voice limbered up. So you have to have a Facebook business page. And a lot of people think, well, I have to have a Facebook business page that has been around for a while. It's got some content. I've got some likes on it before I run any Facebook ads. But that's not necessarily so. I have set up business pages and started running ads 5 minutes after the page has been set up. Hi, Les. Good to see you. So you don't have to have had your page up for a long time. You can literally start it and start running Facebook ads, as long as you have these other pieces in place that we're going to talk about. So a lot of, a profile isn't good enough. Now, a lot of people call those your personal page. It's not a page. It's not a page. It's a profile. Whatever you want to call it, that you need that to have an ads manager, because Facebook wants the ads manager attached to a human, a person. So your personal profile has to be involved, but you have to have a business page in order to run ads, because it'll be presented on Facebook as if it's your business page running the promotion or the sponsored post or the ad or whatever it is. Hi, Malgarzada. So you have to have your business page set up, which means you have to use, all of the bells and whistles. You want to get your cover image up. You want your profile image in there set up so that it looks good. This is going to be going out with every ad that you make. It's going to be saying it's coming from Sherri-Lee Wojcik or whatever your business page is, and you want to make sure that that's represented well. So you've got to at least have your cover image up and have that good profile image up. It doesn't have to be a professional headshot, but it really does need to be something that looks good and is not blurry or grainy, but not the same one that you've got on your profile. So I was recently talking to somebody who had this exact same personal shot for their page and their profile, and it was really confusing. She never knew how she was interacting on Facebook or who she was being on Facebook, whether she was being her business presence or her personal presence. And we really needed to shift that and have separate images so that it was really clear to her and everyone who it was. So yeah, it'd be nice to have a bit of content in there, but that doesn't take long. Schedule out 5 or 7 days of content and get those going. Even if nobody is on the page yet, you want the content to go out. And here's why. Here's the analogy I use. In 1997, I went to Cuba with my boyfriend at the time. And Cuba, Veradero was just opening up. I think there was only 3 or 4 resorts in the Veradero Strip at that point. So it was very limited, and only, I haven't been back since, but it was very limited, very small. It was just opening up. And all your meals were included. But in between meals, we wanted to have some snacks in our hotel room. So we asked where there was a little store, a little convenience store. Somebody pointed us in the direction. We went off. We walked off to it. We went to it. When we got there, we opened up the door to the store. There's a guy standing behind the counter with a fan blowing on him. He looked very unhappy, very depressed. And we walked through the store, and in the store there was 1 can of Spam. That's it. So you're like, well, what the hell did we walk all this way for in this heat? So to me, I kind of equate having a Facebook page that you're running ads on with hardly any content about the same thing. It's like inviting people into your store and you've only got one thing on your shelf. At least be creative and interesting and interested and aware and thoughtful, and create something in there. Because people, when they see your ad, if they don't know you, and they see your ad running in their news feed because Facebook put it there, if they don't know you, they're going to check you out. They're going to click on your page name, and they're going to go to your page, and they're going to qualify you. They're going to vet you. They're going to determine if they believe the content of your ad by what they find when they land on your page, to a degree. That doesn't mean you don't move forward. Get some content scheduled out, get it going, and get started, okay? So that's step number 1, or the first way you're ready for Facebook ads. And step number 2, you have some money to invest. It's not realistic to think, well, I have $10 and I'm going to make $1,000 in sales from that. If you've never run ads, if you have, not really nurtured your Facebook page or grown a community on there, you need to have some money to invest, because we don't just run an ad and go straight to the sale. There's a process that we need to follow in order to have the sale happen. Now, that process doesn't have to take an awfully long time, but we do need to follow a process. Very few people are on Facebook to be sold to directly. There are exceptions. It sure does happen sometimes, but it's harder if you don't have a big ads budget, if you haven't developed your audience. So it's kind of a scale here. Develop your audience, have an ads budget. So you don't have to have thousands of dollars to run ads and have them be successful, but you do have to have enough money in the bank to be able to invest in some stage building in order to get some social proof on the ad, get some leverage so that people are seeing it, build some community, build some awareness, build some conversation happening, so that then when people see your offer, they're far more likely to buy from you. So I don't know, we see ads all the time. When you see an ad for a new place that you've never heard of before you go and invest, even if it's like going out for a dinner with somebody, don't you ask around and say, hey, have you heard of this place? Have you been? What did you think? Is it worth it? Should I go? This is what we do. Now on Facebook, we also do this. Sometimes we ask people for feedback, but sometimes we qualify that and we do that by determining how well we know this person and or this page or this business, because people want to do business with people, not businesses. So the people who like Walmart and McDonald's and Nike, they aren't looking to build relationships with that brand. They're looking for sales, for advance notice on sales, for coupons, for product launch information, and for a way to complain about things when they're unhappy about them. So this is different for us as businesses that aren't Nike and McDonald's and Walmart. We want to build relationships so that people know us. And if they don't know us, some of their friends know us, and we're leveraging the power of this. So you do need to have a little bit of money. I generally say to somebody, hi, Malgarzada, I generally say to some people between $300 and $500 a month is a good place to start. And if you can invest that to start, then you can start building some really good traction, some really good awareness, some really good connections with people. And then as you start generating revenue, you can increase your monthly ad budget. But you really have to start with what you can afford. You cannot start, with money that you don't really have or that you can't afford to spend, because the first penny you spend is not going to generally generate revenue for you. Okay, so there's different types of spending. There's community building, there's awareness, there's social proof, then there's actual offers that you're making that the spending is going towards. Okay, that's number 2. So the number 3 is you have a story that you can use to build rapport. You have to make connection with people. You have to be able to let people know that you understand what their problem is, what their desire is, what they want, and that you have been there. You've solved that for somebody else, or you've solved it for yourself, or something similar, or you've had a similar experience. In your ad copy, if you don't have a lot of this kind of rapport built on your page that people can see in advance, then you need to build it on your ad copy, and you need to follow a specific formula to do that. So you have to have this story that you can share that makes connections, that lets people know you know what you're talking about and you know what you're doing. Okay, so you have to have a story. Now, everybody has stories. Everybody can pull a story out. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of effort and some probing and some questioning. So I find with my clients, we spend some time. If they aren't clear on, what's my story? What should I say here? I don't understand how I'm going to make this lesson work. Then we spend some time digging into what's that going to look like. And I ask questions and that generally lead to ahas that has them go, oh, I didn't realize that was important. Okay. Let's see, that was number 3. So number 4 is you know how to run some ads. Now, there are 11 different types of ads that you can run in the Ads Manager. And understanding and choosing the right kind of ad for what you want to accomplish is so important. I talk to people every day who say I ran a Facebook ad and it didn't work. It was a waste of money. I wasted my time. I'll never do that again. Facebook ads don't work. And when I look into it, when I ask them some questions, typically one of these 5 signs were not in place. And that would be one of the reasons why their ads didn't work the way they wanted them to. And most likely than not, it is that they did not select the right type of ad for what they wanted to achieve. You see, if we go to newspapers or magazines or TVs or radio, it's an ad. An ad is an ad is an ad is an ad. There's no customization. But in Facebook, you can create ads that are created and crafted a certain way to grow the likes on your page. You can create ads that are created and crafted in a certain way to get more engagement on a post, to get people to click on a link and go to your landing pages, or to get people to stay on the landing page, or to get people to end up on the landing page and make a purchase and land on the thank you page, or to watch videos, or to download apps. There's so many different types. Now, you don't need to know all of those types of ads, you need to know the ones that you need to know in order to achieve your results. And sometimes it's one ad, but sometimes it's a sequence of ads. I have a technique called the rapid reach formula that combines 2 or 3 different types of ads together in order to supercharge our efforts, put them all into one place, and leverage that to get the biggest impact. So you need to know what kind of ad you are using for what you want to achieve. And then you have to be sure that you have all the pieces in place. So I've had somebody say to me, how do I run a conversion ad? And when I dig, they don't have the things they need to run a conversion ad. So a conversion ad, you require a pixel installed on their website. They didn't have that. You can't run a conversion ad without a pixel. But if you don't know that, you're going to get so frustrated and fed up with the time and the energy it takes to make these ads, okay? So you need to know what you want to achieve and then which ad to choose to make that happen. That's number 5. You have an offer. You actually have an offer. You can't just do a post that says, I do this, and hope people will click through and sign up or buy or purchase or whatever from you. It's, you know, it's not like the Field of Dreams where you just say, I do this, and people just come flooding to you. Or I have this great offer, or I have this great product, and people just come flooding to you. It doesn't work that way. And the main reason is Facebook is so busy. There's so much volume in the in content being created, in ads being created. The news feeds are so full, and people are inundated with content, and they get kind of overwhelmed and kind of hypnotized and not really paying attention, kind of unconscious, that what makes yours stand out? Your offer. I do this. That's nice. What's in it for me is pretty much the first thing people are thinking. So your offer has to be packaged and produced properly for the best results. Okay, any questions, you guys? Happy to answer anything that you may have. So those are the 5 signs that you're ready to run Facebook ads. Let's run through those again. I've got them written down over here so I don't forget anything. That's why I'm looking over here. You have a business page set up. You have money to invest, but remember, it doesn't have to be a huge amount. You have a story that you can tell that builds rapport. You know how to run the right kind of ads for you, for this offer. And you have an offer to make. Now, if you don't have all those pieces in place, don't worry, it doesn't take long. You can certainly get those created, get them done in short order. And, you know, having somebody to help you and guide you through those steps is really such an important part of it. You want to make sure that somebody has, you know, somebody is guiding you, because otherwise, how do you know you're making the right choice? And a fair amount of Facebook is testing and figuring it out and trial and error, but that can be slow and painful when you have somebody in your corner who's actually spent years doing this, 9 years doing this, 10 years doing this, or longer. You've got somebody who can make sure that they shortcut some of the frustration for you. So if you don't have those set up, don't worry, find somebody to help you. I can help you. You know, you can reach out to me and we could figure out a way to make it work for you. But the most important thing is that you just don't stay where you are and you make a choice to move forward. Don't try to chew the whole elephant at once. Just nibble on its toes and take little steps. And just get started moving forward from where you are right now. And if you want to move forward, then it's just a matter of making that choice and taking some steps. If you aren't clear on those steps, reach out to me and let's have a conversation, and we'll see how we could make that work for you. So those are the 5 ways to tell that you're ready to run Facebook ads. And I'm so grateful that you were with me today. And if you're watching this on replay, please let me know by using #replay and ask any questions that you have. Comment if you're interested in having a conversation with me. How about this? Comment ready. And if you comment ready, then I will reach out to you and we will create a way for us to have a conversation to see how I can help you. And in the meantime, if you have questions, message me here on the page and I'll get back to you if you have any questions. But I'll be back again next Monday with another episode. And I don't know what we'll be talking about. I'd love your input. What do you think we'll be talking about? All right. Thanks for being here with me today. I really appreciate your time. I hope you got some value out of this. Please let me know. And I will see you on Facebook.